again, hello and welcome to Arts and Entertainment. I'm Deborah Gilbert, your host, and as always, thanks so much for being here. I hope you enjoy the show. Well, we're going to highlight a wonderful thing that has happened last year, which I highlighted for you. We're going to do it again this year, and it's called Outfilm CT, and Shane Engstrom, the festival director, is my guest today. And Shane, thanks so much for being here. I appreciate it.
Thank you for inviting me.
Last year you came via Zoom. Today you're here in the station, so thanks a lot for coming.
Yes, beautiful facility here. Thank you for inviting me.
Good. Well, what I like to do in the beginning of the show, which we talked about before we started taping, is about you. So why don't you take a moment and introduce yourself to the viewers. Take us back into your background.
Well, I'm originally from Maine, but
we love that. Go ahead.
But I've lived in Connecticut for probably 35 years, and I got involved with Outfilm Connecticut back in the year 2000. So about 24 years I've been involved. I became the secretary for the organization early on for about 7 years, and then around 2008 I ended up becoming the festival director. And over the years, I've had a few co-directors as well, so that's my involvement. It's been just a labor of love. I work at Webster Bank during the day, and so this is just kind of my second job, working with the film festival, but it's not really a job because everyone at Outfilm Connecticut is a volunteer. And it's a wonderful nonprofit organization that's dedicated to, bringing the best in LGBTQ films to the community every year. And, that's something that was really interesting to me early on because I was a big fan of independent film. And, it's just such a treat and enjoying pastime watching all these films and selecting the films for the next LGBTQ film festival. And I got involved in the year 2000, but the festival started back in 1988. So it's been going, this will be our 37th year.
Now people will hear, I work full-time at Webster Bank, yet I'm festival director for this incredible endeavor of Outfilm CT. How on earth do you juggle both?
Well, I generally, sign off my computer at work, and then I go home and I sign onto my computer there, and I work on all sorts of film things related to the film festival. So, it's a lot of time and work, but it's also something I enjoy very much. And a lot of it throughout the year, different phases of the year. You have certain things that you have to do. For the most part of the year, you're just kind of watching the films that have been submitted and cataloging them and things like that. So it's just, it's a fun pastime to be able to watch the movies. But then as the festival gets closer, you have a lot more things you need to do to prepare for that, which is like, booking the films or preparing, little brochures.
That's right, we have the brochure right here.
That talk about all the films that we're showing, and working on the website and working on our Friends of the Festival program, and just there's so much to it, and I'm not alone in this endeavor. There's a committee that we have comprised of volunteers, and I would say there are probably about 20 active members of the committee who kind of focus on different things. Some of them just kind of watch the movies from home. Others specialize in like doing social media posts or things like that. So everyone plays their own little part, and it all comes together. So that's it.
Take us back into the 80s when you were telling me before we started that that's when things got started with this entity, if you will.
Yep.
Tell us how it did start and the name of it then.
So it was an organization that was started back in the late 80s, 1987. It was kind of founded out of a period of social unrest and social advocacy because there was a group of LGBTQ individuals who were campaigning to pass a hate crimes law because someone in the LGBTQ community had been viciously murdered recently. His name was Richard Rail. And so there was a campaign to pass hate crimes legislation, and it did get passed. But out of that kind of movement, there was also a feeling that they wanted to make sure that people understood that LGBTQ people exist in society. They're not freaks, and they have interest in things other than just going out to bars. They have interest in the arts. So they founded this organization called Alternatives, and Alternatives had a literary magazine. It also had theatrical productions, and the Connecticut LGBTQ Film Festival, or at the time it was called the Gay and Lesbian Video Festival. It was founded in 1988 as the first festival. So that's our history, and I would say that over time, things shifted a little bit, and as of today, the film festival is the only piece of that organization that still survives today. So we did a number of years ago change the name of the organization from Alternatives to Out Film Connecticut, which in order to emphasize that it was a film-related organization.
Now, many viewers who, this is dealing with the arts, entertainment, and culture, we have many filmmakers that are out there, actors, etc., which you and I talked about. How does somebody who has a film be able to present themselves to you?
Yeah. Throughout the year, we have there's a film festival platform that a lot of filmmakers are aware of called Film Freeway. And they can submit to us through that platform. They can also just go to our website, and there's a form that they can fill out to tell us about their film, and they can send us a screener link, and they can submit for free through an email. And a lot of times, if I see that there's a film that's been playing that's on the festival circuit and they haven't submitted yet, if we want to take a look at it, I'll potentially reach out to them and ask them to submit their film to us. So there are a number of different ways that they do it. A lot of the shorter films come through Film Freeway.
Okay, so we're coming up to the festival. Why don't you tell the viewers when it is and where it is?
Sure. The festival starts very soon on Friday, June 14th. It's held at Trinity College at Cine Studio, which is on the campus of beautiful Trinity College in Hartford, Connecticut. All of the in-person screenings are held there, with the exception of closing night, which is on Saturday, June 22nd, and that is at the Connecticut Science Center. And of course, opening night and closing night, we have the big parties, and we are also offering virtual viewing as well. So we kind of started during the pandemic with showing a mix of films in person and online, and we've continued that tradition to this year. So people who can't make it up to Hartford have an array of probably, I would say, a dozen films that they can watch from home, from the comfort of their home. We're also, you were talking about filmmakers and getting involved. We're also holding our second annual industry mixer this year, and it's going to be on that Sunday, the 16th, from 1 to 3 p.m. at the Labyrinth Brewing Company in in Manchester, Connecticut. And so it's an open invite to all people in the filmmaking industry, or in any way. It doesn't have to be directors. It can be editors, people in music, people who actors, anyone who's involved in the film industry or wants to become involved. It's a great event to mix with other people in the industry and share what you're working on and find out what others are doing.
Have you been using Cine Studios in Trinity College this whole time?
Yes, it was actually the very first festival was there 37 years ago.
Oh my, okay.
I think Cine Studio has been around for over 50 years now, and they have always been very supportive of the film festival, giving us a space for the festival every year.
Let's hold that thought. I'm Deborah Gilbert. You are tuned in to Arts and Entertainment. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back.
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
Every year, there are a few must-have toys on most kids' holiday wish lists that are hard to find. The best way to avoid getting scammed when purchasing toys online is to buy them directly from a seller you know and trust. And don't be fooled by extra low prices. If the price sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Research before you buy. If a company seems legitimate but you aren't familiar with it, be extra careful with your personal information. Before offering up your name, address, and credit card, make sure the company has a working customer service number. Visit bbb.org/scam tracker to report a scam.
And welcome back to Arts and Entertainment. I'm Deborah Gilbert, your host, and as always, thanks so much for being here. I hope you're enjoying the show. We're highlighting Outfilm CT, which is a festival that's coming up this month in June. And Shane, what I don't want to forget is the website where people can submit, but also the viewer can go and see what you're all about. Outfilmct.org. Why don't you tell us about that? What will they find?
So if you go to outfilmct.org, you will find our entire lineup of the film festival. And there are different buttons on the home page there to be able to, you can see an electronic version of this whole brochure, which has all of the films listed. You can also go to an entire listing of every film that we're showing and see the film descriptions, the date and time that they're all showing. You can buy tickets through the website. You can also buy passes to the festival. So we have you can save a lot of money if you wanted to buy a Festi Pass, which gives you access to all of the films in the festival, or we have a 5-show pass as well. But you can also buy individual tickets there. Our program booklet is also available virtually, so you can page through the program, all 72 pages of it.
Oh my.
And we also have information about volunteering, information about different films coming up. Even before the festival, we're showing a few films in conjunction with the Wadsworth Athenaeum this coming weekend.
Now also the viewer's probably thinking, what kind of films do you accept? I mean, are you looking for a certain type of film that you would like to have go up on that screen?
Yeah, I mean, we don't have a whole lot of restrictions other than it needs to contain LGBTQ content. So we want to make sure that the festival itself is an LGBTQ film festival. So we want to make sure that the content, there is some LGBTQ content involved in the film. And other than that, I mean, we are open to short films, we're open to documentaries, feature films, romantic comedies, dramas, horror films, any type of film they want to submit is certainly welcome.
And then you and your committee watch them throughout the year. You have 70 this year that were submitted, is that correct?
We had around 400.
Oh, 400, excuse me. I heard 70 before, but I'm really off.
So we're showing 70 films.
Oh, you're showing
as part
70,
of the festival,
okay.
but there were several hundred films that were submitted to us. So we, as a committee, will watch. We'll watch all of the films that are submitted to us, and the committee members will kind of rate them on on a 5-point scale, how much they liked it, how much they thought the audience would like it, and then every week I sort of assign a homework assignment to focus on certain films on a particular week, and then at the next week's meeting, which is held by Zoom, the committee members will talk about all the films that they watched in the previous week for their homework assignment. And so it gives a great opportunity if anyone's interested in watching films and has some free time to volunteer with the film festival. We're always open to new members of the committee, and they're welcome to join us each week as we kind of weed through them, and then towards the end of the year, as we're approaching the film festival, we'll have a big meeting to choose the lineup, and during that meeting we look at the ones that have kind of floated to the top in terms of overall ratings that people like the most, but then we also have to make judgments around making sure that the program is diverse and that we have something that's going to be interesting to all different parts of the LGBTQ community and to different groups. So we'll have international shorts and BIPOC shorts, and we'll do lesbian shorts, gay shorts, and then we have lots of different feature films. We have documentaries that are super interesting. Some of them about photographers in the past that preceded Mapplethorpe in terms of the gay imagery that was being photographed. It's called Hidden Master, and it was he was taking these pictures 30 years before Robert Mapplethorpe. Or we have another documentary called Lesbia, about the island of Lesbos. And the lesbian community that was there. We have another film called Body Electric, about body image in the queer community. But we have lots of romantic comedies. Our opening night film is called Love and Revolution, which is sort of Spain's answer to the Stonewall riots. It was kind of Spain's uprising for LGBTQ rights back in the 1970s. It's a really fun film, and of course, on the opening night, we're going to have the big party afterwards outside the theater. So it's always a great time. That's on the June 14th.
Speaking of festival, are you attached to festivals throughout the nation, or are you independent?
We are independent from them, but we, especially through the pandemic, we became very close to different festivals through different Zoom meetings that we have. So to this day, I meet with other LGBTQ film festivals every week. Every Tuesday night, I meet with them via Zoom and talk about issues that are affecting the film festival circuit. Whether it's the difficulty of getting distributors to allow us to show films through streaming because they're protective of the streaming rights. They want to make a big deal with Netflix or Hulu or something, so they're more reluctant these days to allow us to show them online. But we talk about issues of attracting a younger crowd to the film festival. And that's one thing that we're doing this year, which is new for us, is all student tickets are free at our festival this year.
Oh, wow, wonderful.
So we wanted to eliminate any barriers that we had to having the younger generation join in the festival and be able to experience what it's like. So we wanted to make their tickets free as our gift to them.
We have a global audience through the internet. If somebody is thinking, we have a Connecticut audience as well, but if somebody is thinking about starting a festival, is it hard to do?
Oh, I'm sure it's very difficult to start a new organization, but it's not that it hasn't been done, and there are ambitious people throughout the world. I've been to events like at the Berlinale Film Festival in Berlin, where there have been over 100 LGBTQ film festivals represented.
Oh my!
At it, so it's there's a tight network of festivals around the world, and they're very supportive of each other.
Speaking of supportive, have you found the community at large, businesses, etc., you were talking about corporate finance, etc., being supportive of your subject matter and of the festival?
Yes, definitely. We were talking about how, funding the film festival, certainly we get some money from ticket sales and things like that, but a lot of our money comes from corporate sponsorships, selling ads in the program book that we produce to local businesses, and so they're very supportive that way. As well as more recently, we've gotten funding from different foundations and grant making organizations. So our top sponsor this year is the Greater Hartford Arts Council.
Oh, wonderful.
And we have received money from the Bissell Foundation, the Leonard Litz Foundation, lots of different corporate sponsors like Hartford Healthcare, Webster Bank, among others.
We are starting slowly to run out of time. What are your thoughts in general? Are you excited about what's happening?
Absolutely. I am really excited for this year's festival. We have an amazing lineup, and I hope that everyone will come out to check it out. Go to our website at outfilmct.org and just look through all of the films and read about them, and you can watch trailers there. But I have to say that this year is one of the best lineups in terms of the content that's available that I remember, and it's just there's something for everyone there. So I really encourage people to check it out and save it on their calendars.
Is there a reason, before we say goodbye, that you're finding the content to be one of the best this year? Is it because the festival's well known, or did you folks do an assortment of what to choose?
I just think that it's become clear to the producers of LGBTQ film content that there's a market for it. And so you have more content creators making new queer films. And so they're doing it for streaming opportunities. They're doing it for, to gain new audiences through Netflix or Hulu or, any of the streamers. And so lots more is being made, and it's getting more attention.
Well, I want to say congratulations to you and to all of your colleagues that are doing this. I think it's wonderful, and I really hope the festival goes well.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you for inviting us.
Yes, thanks so much for being here. I appreciate it. And you've been watching Arts and Entertainment with Deborah Gilbert. I just forgot about it because I was thinking about Outfilm CT. In case you need to reach me, I'm at artsandentertainment@mail.com. Well, I hope you have a super day today. Thank you so much for tuning in, and as always, I'll see you next time.